And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third hour of this, fifth session? Yeah, fifth session of Defenders of Halcyon. Or Halcyon City Defenders. So we just had a little run-in between Starlight and Diamond and some kind of weird shadow monster. And you've made a deal with
the devil,
Deacon Graves, who is now officially the Lex Luthor of this universe. To meet with and protect him at a gala that is supposed to be on tonight, a charity event for the Radia conflict. Radia, for your information, Joan, because you weren't here when we talked about it a couple of sessions ago. Radia is basically like it's some nation state in somewhere in like the Arabian territories.
All right.
And they are having a conflict.
Yes.
And they are having a conflict.
We know that the only real interaction we've had with the place, or the only mention we've had of it, was the scientist Ayafit Rafah, who developed the technology that was stolen from the bank vault in the second or third session.
Yeah,
that
I remember.
Led to the whole time nonsense that you guys had to deal with.
Yes, I have actually been listening.
Cool.
So the conditions down there is they've become unstuck in time and dinosaurs are ravaging everything.
I mean, I'm taking notes now, but...
Crap.
Alright.
Imagine Daniel having just like this kind of Harry Potter floating pen next to him.
I wish. Oh god, I actually wish. I want, you know what, like, you can get, you see those pieces of technology where they can move a ball, like, just by thinking? I want, like, a pen that can write on the same terms.
That would actually be very cool.
Except you'd have to go back and correct every time you had a stray thought.
True.
It would make writing my books a whole lot easier.
I mean, for me, it would end up, like, quickly being something really inane. Like, it would be something on track, and then something pornographic, and then something philosophical
and then they went into
unrelated.
dicks, and then they continued. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, you'd probably just end up with a whole lot of dick pics, Daniel.
The pen will stop writing and just draw penises.
Just be boobs all over the paper.
Boobs and drooling penises.
So, we cut to Halcyon High, recently restored. It wasn't exactly in its best of ways a month ago. A lot of effort was put into restoring it. But
some of the roofs are still plastic.
Do you guys have the first clue how many brooms I went through over the last month?
Yeah, you returned to work one day and was like, okay, so I guess I'm just gonna have to sweep up the entire yard.
Yes, I have to sweep up the actual school.
Yes, actually all of it. Just gonna get a mop out and just start. Luckily, Halcyon City has a very good response rating when it comes to like dealing with the effects of supernatural occurrences.
Still, for obvious reasons, your pay was docked because they had to spend money repairing the school.
Damn it!
So we cut to Halcyon High, and I think it's like it says it's like a second. What's the word I'm looking for?
Penis.
I don't know.
Period. Second period. English. And we see like the class being taught by none other than Mr. Sam McGee, who has moved up in the world from substitute teacher to your English teacher.
Hey, I have influence over him, or at least Sparrow does.
Yeah, two of your superheroes have influence over this guy. He's like, so he basically like gives some exposition. He's like, as you know, Miss Montague has taken a moment of leave to deal with a tragedy in the family. And
we know, you tell us every day.
Exactly. Right. Just like the limp-wristed exposition. And it's like, so before we go into what do people read at this level? Is this like King Lear territory, or is it way is it?
We're learning the alphabet.
Catcher in the Rye? I don't know.
What year are they in?
They're juniors.
Juniors? Oh, I'd say they'd probably be looking at stuff like
Tale of Two Cities.
Tale of Two Cities and Dickens, maybe even a couple of Shakespeare's comedies.
Cool. So yeah, it's probably like, before we go back to Tale of Two Cities, I have an announcement to make. We have a new student attending class. Now, she's from Europe. So. But her English is quite good, so there should be no problem. All the same, I expect you all to be welcoming. Yeah, let's give her a good old halcyon welcome. And he goes to the door. He opens it. He calls into the hallway, and into the room strides the woman we saw the girl we saw in the beginning of the comic, walking past the military jeep. So it's like a Caucasian girl with like very styled, very pretty, nicely dressed, black hair, black robe coat, heel boots. Wears a lot of decorative armbands.
I think Sparrow leans in towards Nightshade and says, "Oh, she looks cool."
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like the key operational words here are like alluring and cool, right? Like that's what we're talking about here. And as we know, like she there's a panel of her like basically like reaching her hand out as if in greeting to an entire classroom, and she says, "Hello, everyone. I am Monica LaFay. It's my
fuck's sake!
I'll be pleased to join you." And we see as she says this, and she's her hand is extended. We see a little black stick figure on her hand.
Oh, bitch!
I knew it.
Oh, God damn it!
What?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go all Southern Kentucky on this one.
Can I say that Sparrow knows enough about Arthurian legend to just kind of look at Vigil, going,
So, yeah, you might know enough about that. That's perfect.
Actually, I'll say she does, because, the whole Vigil thing is linked to that, and she's his teammate, so she'll have read about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, bear in mind that it's absolutely true that LaFay is totally the name of Morgan, like Morgan's last name in the Arthurian legend. It's also
Morgana, yeah.
Totally the name of the first villain you ever fought was Morgan LaFay, descendant of Morgan. However, LaFay is also if not common, it is a last name. And Monica LaFay,
there's a theme there with the MO names.
Yeah.
She's definitely eyeing Vigil.
She smiles at the classroom, and then Mr. McGee is like, "Take your seat down next to Miss North."
And I would say just during all this, like Vigil is like disinterested or like super tired because he was like drilled by order and training, that he's just either sleeping on his desk or looking outside the window.
So it's like, it's like the picture of when we see the entire classroom has like everyone is caricatured in some way, right? Like every student is characterized either by being those students we don't really pay attention to, or those students we do, and the students we do are like someone looking perky, which is obviously White Sparrow.
Obviously.
Nightshade or Aaron looking attentive. Finn just like lying across his table, just resting on
dead.
His desk, exhausted. And of course, Starlight probably looking to be in a general awful mood.
She is in an awful mood.
Yeah.
Well, if the mysterious LaFay is going to sit next to her, I think Sparrow doesn't. Oh, he mentioned my name. Looks up and does smiles a welcoming smile at her.
Yeah, she
I think
strides down
Nightshade
through the.
smiles as well.
Cool. I think so. She strides down and like sits next to you, Eliana. And by like the placement of the desks, I imagine being that that means that Nightshade, you and Monica are now arranged in an L formation with the you two girls like sitting next to each other and Nightshade sitting like one row in front.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
So she sits down next to you, and as the teacher starts droning, there's like the speech bubble from off panel like starts just ranting off nothingness that just like a few words like as we see in Shakespeare's or like in James Dickens's blah blah blah, and then it like just the text gets smaller and smaller and like becomes nothing.
hi, I'm Ileana.
She leans over, she's like, "Hi, good to meet you. I'm Monica," and she like extends her hand.
I shake her hand.
She grins broadly at you. It's like, so, this place is pretty new. I heard this place was a dump.
Oh, it was destroyed a bit back.
I'm so excited for that. You're full of superheroes here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, of course, you have to be really good at running, but still.
I think when Aaron hears Finn start to go to sleep, he like grabs a pencil, turns around, and just throws it and hits him in the head, and then turns back around.
Yeah, a couple of C's like sneak in from off screen, and like it's like this entire little subplot of your conversation happening in the background, where we just like in the foreground there's the two girls talking and the speech bubbles taking up most of the screen, but then in the background we can see like Nightshade picking up an eraser or something and just like tossing it across the frame and hitting something out of frame and just this
Memo
C
to
stop.
self: do not ever throw a pencil at someone to wake them up, or you will put them to sleep permanently.
It's like more push-ups.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cool.
We don't want your stinking war.
So, alright, so
Lol.
have to run? Yeah, I guess you would have protective measures and so on. But I mean, I don't know that I could. We don't see many superheroes back home.
Where are you from?
England?
I figured. Her English is really good. Yeah, of course it is. She's from England.
England through France.
Cool. But yeah, you know,
By way
it
of.
pays to get out of Dodge when the big stuff happens.
Well,
You know, out to safety so you can watch.
yeah, I can imagine so. Would you show me around after this thing?
Sure.
Thanks.
Oh, this is Aaron.
She smiled. So do you hear do you call his attention? It's like, hey, this is Aaron. Pay attention.
I at least point to him.
Yeah. So Aaron, you see I catch out the corner of your eye, like Monica, like looking at you and like raising a couple of fingers and be like, hello, and brushing a lock of dark hair out of her face, looking absolutely gorgeous and sending you enticing eyes. he looks,
Bad girl, bad.
Yeah, so Aaron turns around and smiles and kind of nods his head and turns back around and keeps taking his notes.
You get the sense like that she's smiling at you, and then we see Ileana. She like leans across the desk to you, and she's like, "He's cute."
I know, right?
Ooh.
So second period drags on, and I think we find a lot of you when school's out. Do you like all get together? What do we see when school's out? What do you do respectively?
I show her around as I promised.
Yeah.
I hide from my mother.
You could hide out at my place. Good place to hide.
Tell
Okay.
us about that.
Well, seeing as she doesn't actually have a fixed address as such, She stays in the disused arcade at the Richard M. Nixon Mall of Halcyon City, which is a dilapidated place, but she's managed to get most of the arcade machines up and running.
Right, so it's like
Except in two specific cases, there is an electronic arm wrestling championship machine in there, which is in pieces, and there's also one of those things that you punch to see how strong you are, and it looks like somebody punched the ball through the actual machine.
That sounds exactly like I would imagine it.
Other than that, the various machines work, so you can play Tekken or Mario Brothers or what's it called, Street Fighter, these kinds of things.
In this world, like all the Street Fighter games, like have of course like started incorporating superheroes, like superheroes who have signed like deals with
Capcom versus. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like you can feature like different heroes and villains whose likeness have been adopted. Yeah. So you extended an invitation to hang out at your arcade thing to Finn.
Yep.
So Finn, as you emerge from the school to the incessant honking of your mother's pickup truck, you spy a brief shimmer of reprieve as you see Diamond like waving you down from somewhere off to the side. He's like, no, this way. I got the escape plans ready.
Yep, clearly.
And then we proceed to like couple of shots of them just comedically like sneaking behind his mother, just like
yep.
Yep, like her impatiently just punching the car horn.
Yep. And I think, in fact, we also see on the way, while they sneak there, that on the way there, they probably stop by some really, really greasy food joint along the way to get a couple of a bag full of cheeseburgers, triple cheese, hold the anything but cheese.
Sure, of course. I should ask, are you joined by anyone else, like Starlight or Nightshade? Are you like
anybody who wants to come? But there's an open invitation, certainly for Starlight, especially today. She would probably have tried to get a hold of Starlight and say, drop by my place afterwards.
I have.
She won't have.
In the case of Nightshade, I will add that Sparrow will probably have been like, "Oh yeah, let me show you around," and then hooked arms with Aaron.
Oh, so Aaron, you
She is pissing off her territory.
Aaron, you find yourself being co-opted. Are you?
No, I'm okay with it.
Suddenly there's suddenly Iliana's at your side and holding on to you, and the new girl is there too.
No,
I know you added her like
I go
might not
along.
notice.
So what's the plan here? When you grab Aaron, it's like, let's go and do something. What's that plan?
The plan is to show her around. I just needed to grab a hold of him so she can see that. Yeah, he is cute.
And spoken for.
Exactly. Even if it's
He
not
is
really.
cute. And
Just,
he's fucking mine.
Meanwhile, so
Basically, I just have to say this. Basically, just put a cap on it and kiss him.
Yeah, she haven't yet.
so it's
Because she's a chicken shit.
Do we see Starlight follow Finn and Jewel to the arcade?
Yeah. She doesn't want to be near Sparrow or Nightshade, so it actually fits perfectly with her that they're staying behind.
Right. So I think we'll start by acknowledging that. So we see basically the two groups, but like go in separate directions, and cutting to the arcade. There's a moment of you guys like just being able to chill there and being generally away from anything and anyone, because as Joan commented, you're in a dilapidated mall. Like,
Please don't let it be the one she actually destroyed.
No, not at all. Like that place
Good.
has been restored. This place is like no one comes here except for the rodents and the delinquents. Like the entire first floor of this building is just like an art exhibit of graffiti.
Good.
Yep.
So,
As it should be.
It's also kind of homey.
Yeah.
By now, at least for Jewel.
So as you hang out there, it is of course unavoidable to notice that Starlight's mood is awful. But my question is like, as you hang out there and just like have some chill space, like what do you do? Do we just see you like a couple of panels dedicated to you just hanging?
No. For one thing, not only is Starlight clearly still affected by this, but so's Diamond. She's still angry.
Yep.
And while she manages to keep it reasonably tightly checked, there are still telltale signs in her. She moves more abruptly. She's irritable, even not to her friends so much, but if they say something and she doesn't hear it the first time around, she'll be kind of snippy and then apologize for it because she doesn't want them to think that it's them that she's angry at, but it's pretty clear that she's affected by what happened. And when they get there, she will explain what happened that morning, very early morning, and the invitation. She will explain that to Vigil because, hey, we got an invitation from a man who sounds like he's the world-class mortician El Numero Uno.
Right. So I want.
By the way, he likes to make guns.
Give us
he wants us to be his bodyguards.
Yeah. Let's have that conversation.
Yeah. So, well, she looks at Vigil and says, "Well, we had a really fun morning before school began. Really amazing. We were about to go, just the two of us, nice and quiet like. We were about to go and plaster a teacher's office with 6,000 Post-its. And then suddenly this smoky, tendrily creature from that time and good taste forgot decided to tear into a motorcade right down the road." Oh. Yeah.
He's like, and?
Well, we fought it and managed to fight it off, I suppose.
I assume before you say, did you manage to fight it off? Like his mind is so kind of tired right now that he'll be, did you win?
Well, I suppose we did. At least it stopped trying to kill this fellow Deacon Greaves was his name. Apparently he's and you can see she just stands there for a moment and she searches her mind. It looks like she searches her mind. In reality, she's searching the internet. And she says, "Well, he is a weapons manufacturer, and he owns what was it, Greaves Incorporated, or what was he called it?
Graves.
Graves, yes, Graves Incorporated. He's a very important man, apparently. And he was the target of this attack, or so it seemed, and now he wants us to be his bodyguards tonight at some gala event for the benefit of the unfortunate victims of that Middle Eastern conflict going on."
When you search like for Graves Incorporated, like imagine it being like looking into what Samsung is, where you're like, they make telephones. No, they don't. They make everything.
Yes. You can live your entire life basically using nothing but Graves products.
Well,
I imagine there's some people out there like, "Oh yeah, I'm the biggest Graves fan. I will only use their products."
Mm-hmm.
Like there are Apple fans.
The rest of us sitting there will, having played in the World of Darkness, will go Pentex.
Yep.
All right. Yes. But that's she looks at Vigil and says, he extended his invitation. I told him, bollocks. He said that he wanted us to be there, and I said that I'm not. I can only speak for myself, but that I take my orders from someone higher as well. She says, and looks quite pointedly at Vigil because him being the higher authority here. And
Run it by the leader.
Since when?
He is like literally like when he's addressed by a higher authority, higher power. He has the blankest like I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, I'm running this business.
So the conversation is basically like the arcade is that like it's a small panel of like the arcade down in the corner, the speech bubble taking up the topmost part of the panel. The rightmost side of the screen has like a foreground picture of like just like the back of of Diamond having this conversation, and then the next panel is like, and I said I wanted to take it to high authority, and it's just a cut to fucking Vigil like looking smashed out of his skull, just like staring blankly at nothing, just like a close up of his face looking dumb.
yeah, and
he just nodding like yes, all of this, yes.
So, Mr. Higher Authority, are we going or not? Well, you're the boss, man.
Well, first of all, I never consider myself a boss of anyone here. I
should say, boss.
I am a fumble galore.
Yes, of course, boss.
But I don't know, like this team is as much as democracy as it's anyone. Like, have you run this idea by the other teammates?
Well, Starlight was there, obviously.
Well, obviously.
And I haven't really had a chance to see the lovey-doveys all day. They've been running around.
The who?
One of the machines, I should say, that
Yes.
suddenly gets a problem because Starlight loses temporary control over her powers, which includes the machine to sort of disappear into nothing, and she just stands there completely shocked, like, what the hell?
Hey, I like this one.
Like
Do you know how hard it is to get your hands on? Oh, never mind. That's all right. Come over here. You need a hug.
a Pac-Man machine shakes violently, then like it switches to the score page, all the scores get blanked out and replaced with the word ass.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, my high score.
It's just a shock on her face with a, oh, sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, shall we?
Yeah,
we
like I am
going?
like this. Okay, like I will establish a baseline because like Finn is it's quite disinterested in the like. I don't want to sound too posh, but in the affairs of the common folk. But yeah,
I'm sorry, but how can you not sound posh when you even use the expression "the common folk"? That is like the very definition of posh. Look it up in any dictionary anywhere, and it will show a picture of her Madge, and underneath it will. And underneath it will say any use of the expression "the common folk."
I could use always the plebes.
It's true. You could say the plebs. That would be worse.
So, yeah, no, I
have no interest in the affairs of the proletariat. Thank you.
Instead, yeah, but I'm like, so he's, except having like the basic general knowledge who this man is, or about maybe not even this man, but like that he is at the head of this company and this company makes stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's this only, and he's like the company makes useful stuff. He cannot be too bad.
No, but it's not really that which is the problem. The problem is that he was attacked by a great big swirly creature made out of smoke and claws. And he wants, well, He did not exactly demand, but he did rather insistently ask us if we wouldn't like to be there to be his guards in case this thing came back and tried again, and he thought it would.
Well, it isn't in our Well, I suppose it isn't in our style to refuse somebody in need, even if they are rich. I suppose. So, yeah, I would be for it. As long as maybe, yeah.
Excellent, because I'm not done with that piece of.
You mean the guy or?
No, I mean the.
He looked very confused for a second there.
No, I mean the creature. She kicks a piece of rubble on the floor through the wall.
Oh, by the way, so what happened? What happened to the creature? Did the insert the generic authority who usually incarcerates this kind of things
Aegis
intervened? Did Aegis took it?
I wrapped half of a tanker truck around it.
Sure.
I'm not sure if that will hold it for very long.
Okay, but did like Aegis arrive on the scene and take it, or
No.
did you bail before anybody can really?
We
do
bailed
anything?
before that happened, mainly because Mr. Graves insisted that his men had it well in hand, now that the thing had been caught, and they would make sure that it was all taken care of, or some such.
Oh, he looks like even more confused. So, well, if they have it in control, that they mean they lost control of it at any point?
I don't know. I think if anything, he was probably worried that whoever was behind the attack would try again.
Well, the least we could do is, hang around. Maybe after recent events, maybe do not get into too much spotlight, because the recent tentacle debacle is still not resolved in the public eye.
That's a good alliteration there.
Thank you.
She's clearly still having a difficult time keeping a lid on it, because she's obviously really furious.
She doesn't seem to be like in the right way. Neither does
No.
Starlight, for that matter. But when you notice this, do you do something about it, or are you too tired to really like put effort in?
People need me. Can't be bothered. Best hero.
Yeah, but what they do not like. They do look beaten up. They look.
They look like. I mean, so just based on what I've heard here, like it sounds like, for example, when Diamond speaks, like there's kind of a pissy inflection to what she's saying.
There's a pissy inflection, and her body language is screaming anger.
Okay.
And Starlight just murdered a Pac-Man game.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's anything but hopeless. But it's pretty normal for Starlight to be bad in one way or another. Which is kind of sad.
This is like if this was like an animated show, right? This is the Satam version of this. When you look over at Starlight, she would be drawn with like this like purple and black miasma around her.
The little black cloud over her head.
Yeah, he was probably lounging on like piece of thing, like maybe like dilapidated beanbag, some old beanbag, and he would probably like stood up and like go to Starlight, like squat near her, like and be like, well, are you two telling me everything about it? Because you look more worse for wear than usual, and I've seen you pretty beat up. So
She looks kind of like she did in the cell, way back.
Like you're in like a general like bad way and asking yourself a lot of questions you don't have the answers to.
Yeah,
Am I eventually going to destroy the world?
something like that.
Am I the bomb?
let me just
Basically, she just calmly shrugs. I'm fine. Lie.
She's obviously not. But do you want to do you want to talk to her? Do you want to pull a move? Do you want to do something? What's up?
I think he would like to pierce the mask either on both of them, or like he's doing like all of this like heavy thinking, squinting his eyes, like trying to figure them out, or just starting to like maybe pry.
Trying to like you ask some prodding questions and so on.
Yeah.
So what do you have an idea of like what?
But can I do it on both of them, or is this just for one person?
Well, like you pick yourself a target.
Okay, so I'll definitely pick Starlight because I have influence over her, and again get +1 for this.
Yeah. So just as a friendly reminder to everyone, because this bears repeating, you can at any point give anyone you want influence. It's just that you cannot at any point take it away.
Take it away.
And once you've given it, they have to use it before it's spent.
Yeah, or something has to change in the fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, do you have an idea of how you start like prodding away and peeling back at Starlight, or do we just?
He was probably not doing this whole put a hand on the arm stick, but like he's just maybe goes from squatting to like being in like just sitting on the ground next to Starlight.
Well,
like,
she's standing up.
Or whatever position she is in. Like, so he probably stands next to her and like be like not semi-serious, but being being in his mannerism, like Starlight. We did it before. Like, we like. Like he's basically like, that you can trust me, like what happened.
You want to appeal to her sense of camaraderie.
Yeah, basically, like he wants to be like just gently like punch through the like the confusion of the situation with like with the affirmation of that he is an ally always, and
Cool. Yeah. I think you roll your mundane. See how well you pierce her mask.
Okay, so it's mundane on +1. Fail.
Horrible.
Yes. Potential.
So I think
so it begins.
We have our crit check, and then we have our fail foul.
That's very true. So I think you stand there, you try, you want to like poke at her, you want to relate, and Starlight like seems to like you realize as you're communicating and like trying
How are things in peasant land?
Yeah.
Sorry.
As you like try to poke at her.
Sorry, that was nice.
I think what you do is like, though you don't start understanding like the finer details of where she's at, you do get like a moment where you can really appreciate like how shitty she's feeling, and as you like say, we've been here before, we've talked about this, you're reminded of that time when you sat in the cell at the archway. And try to talk to her, and your thoughts immediately like out of your control, like drift to Starlight, almost nuking a city block. And as you realize that, you're like, oh shit, you're actually like trying to poke her, and she seems like to be in an emotionally vulnerable state. And you find yourself afraid, like, no, I shouldn't do this, because you might really, like, you could get hurt fucking up with Starlight right now.
Oh shit!
If you tip her scales, like, she might kill you. So there is that, like, that fear happens, and take.
Is that apparent for Starlight then? Because I imagine that would be quite impactful.
It is the. I'm not extending any condition to Starlight. I will let AJ decide if Starlight notices a reaction on Finn.
I'm pretty sure if he's tired, he won't be able to hide every little detail.
No, but this
so
could,
she
this could
probably
take shape.
notices that he suddenly looks kind of fearful.
And he's bad at social stuff anyway, so it's probably really easy to read. If somebody
Don't worry, we've talked about this before. Gulp.
We talked about this before when you were about to kill the entire city. Oh fuck.
Yeah, the conversation like peters out into nothing, right? It's like
Because the thing she already were kind of worried about was that she actually felt that she were losing control, and that worried her. And now this happens. So,
I just assume you wanted me to mark the afraid condition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she realizes this, and then just takes a step back from him because she's scaring him. Turns around and leaves.
Unless you would object too badly, I think Diamond would like to try to intercept her. Just briefly.
Yeah, I
Well,
think we could go on.
Well, the way she was going to leave was, flaring up, spending to burn, and going anywhere she has ever been. As
So-
in, I am now no longer here.
Well, not much I can do there.
You can make that roll if you want to use your powers to get out of here, right now.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. Well, if she wants to stop her, it'll be when she sees that she starts flaring up.
Well, if you give her enough time to do that, she will go over there, angry or not. She will go straight towards Starlight, and put her arms around her and give her a hug. Just give her a hug and say, "You did real good this morning."
Okay, that stops her. If only because she's shocked for a second, and then she freaks out.
So is this like moment of like surprise shock enough to like jerk you out of your state and give Diamond the opportunity to comfort and support you, or is this insufficient? Do you feel?
Well, it is kind of comforting that someone dares touch her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Joan, you can roll plus mundane to comfort and support.
Christ. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the one angry penalizes.
Exactly. I have a -3 on this.
You can do
Oh
it!
boy.
Please
I
don't
would
fail.
I would help, but this is like not in the
Give me a second.
like
here.
it does not make sense in the fiction.
Give me a moment here. I need to check something real quick.
You go to hug her and you just squeeze her tight.
Yeah.
Pop her head right off.
She's not actually. I mean, well, I mean, if it has that effect, she will. I suppose I can roll for it. But it's not that she's actually actively trying to do that. She's simply trying to do what she thinks is the right thing and letting Starlight know that, well, we got through this morning in one piece.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Move on. So So make a roll.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
I can make a salute for you to burp.
Okay. I suppose that counts as a what's it called? That's a
Miss.
A miss.
Mark
Potential?
potential.
Yeah. So here's what can happen at this moment. Should he want to swallow his fear and throw in and try to salvage what he's done, Vigil can spend a team to up you here and throw into the conversation, if he wants to. You can also spend a team selfishly if you can explain to me how you kind of sell out your team doing it.
I would be all for you just going about how don't listen to him, throwing shade on Vigil. If you want to spend it selfishly.
That's a good one.
Or I can help you if you want to.
I'd rather have the help.
Choice.
I would rather have the help.
So yeah, Vigil would probably be like, in his mind, he will be like, "What the fuck are you doing? There is thing to fear, but what the fuck, man?
You're kicking yourself."
Yeah. He's like probably joining at the very end, or even like using his super speed to just catch up, and being like, and probably what he's doing, like when she's trying to like talk her out, he's probably like just flat out hugging the Starlight without any
group hug,
yep. Or hugging them both. Just
probably hugging them both.
Yep.
The magic of hugs.
So I would like to spend that team and assist him. Says it.
Ow.
So
I'm sorry.
The way we see this definitely is Starlight is moving. She's flaring up. She's about like, nope, I'm leaving. Then Diamond like rushes up and like gives her a hug and like says to her, like, you did good this morning. Like, it's gonna be fine. You're okay. And we see Starlight like hesitate for a moment, where she's like she's listening to what you're saying, and then it's not sufficient, and she starts like, no, you know what? Like, no, I'm out. And then another set of arms like closes around the both of you, like as Finn joins in, and that tips it up.
Well, what happens is that she realizes that Diamond is doing this to comfort her, but she's fucking scared of killing people, so do not touch.
Yeah. But then.
And then the one who were actually scared of her also hugs her, even though he's probably peeing his pants doing it, but still.
But just the sheer awkwardness of Finn's hug. It's
awkward, but at least he's
crying.
So here's what's up, AJ. If you open up now, like at this moment, because this is where the move intersects with you as a player, they have comforted and supported you. However, the move is not done. If Starlight opens up to it's primarily here to Diamond, but I guess to a greater or lesser extent also to Finn, you can then clear a condition or shift your labels or mark potential at your own discretion, but only if you open up. So you need to now they have like made their opening bid. Now you need to give us back play, paint this. Give us a look at what this means to Starlight and what she says in return, and then Joan and Brain will be the judges of whether or not they think you have opened up to them.
All right. Well, first she breaks down, just crying, and it doesn't seem to stop until she just sadly sobs, "I almost lost contact again. I couldn't."
Yep, that's enough. That's opening up. Definitely, that's opening up. Well, Diamond just keeps her arms around her and strokes her back and just says, "It's fine. You almost did, but you didn't."
All right, that's so cool. AJ, clear a condition, mark potential, or shift your labels.
I should probably clear a condition because I get them like they're candy.
I like candy.
I don't when it's this.
Or how does this make you no longer feel?
Well, I actually think her afraid leaves
You feel more safe opening up to these people and like them
Yeah.
reassuring you.
She feels safer. She's still a little insecure because, well, she could feel how unstable it was last time, but at least she has a feeling that these guys will actually stop it.
Cool.
Also, I'm just going to be unspeakably cheesy here for a second, and it's not even a reference to the burgers. But right now, there's probably very few places in Halcyon City which are quite as safe as in Diamond's arms.
Aww.
Very sweet. So I want to end what we see with you guys on this, like on a touching moment of a hug and some crying.
However awkward it is.
Yeah. And of some meaningful words being exchanged. And then we cut to like an awkwardly bubbly moment in comparison. Which is the three of you, the two of you and this NPC, out being shown the ropes. And my question is like, what do you show Monica?
Well, assuming the school has pretty much the same layout as before, then she gets the grand tour. Like, so this is the gym, and this is the yard, and this is the classroom of this, and this is the janitor's closet, and this is the...
So
This is the tree that came to life.
we see like a series of panels of you doing that, and then like
oh yeah, that's actually she will also go, since she noticed that Monica likes heroes, like, oh yeah, and back then at this point this happened to this bit of the school, and this tree something wanky happened with, and
So when you start doing that, she peps up again for a moment. But I think like we see a degeneration between the series of pictures of her like losing interest as you show the school, and then at in one page she grabs your arm at one point where you're going through the gymnasium. She's like, thank you. What like does she call you Iliana? Have you been? Oh no, call me Illy or something like that.
Nelly.
All right. So Iliana. I'm sorry, Nelly.
Yeah.
This is sweet and all, but when I said, could you show me the ropes or show me the right places, I'm talking about getting turned up, girl. Where do you thrash?
What?
Where do you thrash?
Well, they have a dumpster out behind the cantina.
She looks to you, Nightshade. She's like, please help. Tack.
Aaron like holds his hands up instantly. He's like, I don't get into that stuff. You're asking the wrong person.
So what you don't?
Why would you get into a dumpster?
You just don't party here? Have
I like pat Nelly on the head as like, I'll explain it to you later.
Is Halcyon City secretly in the Bible Belt? Was I not informed of this? Come on, this is the greatest city on the world. You must have some cool ass parties.
I mean, I guess we do. Mostly seniors, though.
I mean, come on.
Oh my!
So yes, you do.
Oh my god!
That's what do you?
No, that was just funny. Mostly seniors, though.
Do you listen to music?
Of course.
Cool. Where?
Well, I like sitting in my room. But now Sparrow winks at her now because okay, I get you now.
She catches like she almost skips a beat, right? Where she's like, no, come on, really, like I'm talking live. But then like she notices on your face, she like her face cracks in the smile. She's like, yeah, you know it. Come on, show me.
You want to see my room?
And she stops. She's like, she's about to comment. She's like, no, I was talking about live. Well, actually, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sure. We can hang out. Want to come, Aaron?
Girl, you know it.
Sure, why not? If it avoids me getting my schoolwork done.
I think
Very
Sparrow
enthusiastic there.
Sparrow looks kind of guilty because, but you should do your schoolwork is what she wants to say, but she also wants to be cool. Sure. I don't think my parents are home for a while, so.
So we cut to you guys like in suburbia, and she's looking around like open-mouthedly, like, oh wow, you really live in the burbs. Wow. How do you tell these places apart?
I think it's something you learn if you grow up here, because whenever I go elsewhere, I can't tell them apart either.
So when you arrive at like she follows along and you like you small talk all the way. She's like very interested in like what do you listen to? Where do you go? Like what's rocking in Halcyon?
Where do you come from? Where...
I spend all my time saving people.
I don't have a social life. Ah.
Why
And
do you
then
suddenly sound like Peter Griffin?
Yeah,
So-
and suddenly we find out that that Finn is suddenly a huge rave enthusiast.
It's like
I think Sparrow tries her best.
it's one
It's
of
like,
those.
well,
like,
I know there's a concert hall there and there, and
So when you arrive at your place, and more specifically at your room, remind me what your room looks like.
well, I don't think we've all been in there.
We might not have. I seem to remember we were there like briefly once, but I might be wrong. What does your room look like?
Now I don't want to contradict myself.
That's
In case
it's
we have
fine.
been there before.
A month has passed. However, it looks now.
There's a magical shrine for Aaron.
No.
There's
I
a
think-
room to the side of your bedroom that has this creepy shrine in it.
I think it is definitely quite girly. It has a lot of plant imagery and posters of animals, and it has a lot, what you call it, related to cross-country running and stuff like that. As a contrast to all the girly, planty animal pictureness.
So we see her like walk around and like she takes your room in, and she has this look on her face where you can't really decipher it, right? She's straddling the line between like where you're thinking, does she think this is lame, or is she just like not super into it? Like, what's up?
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna diffuse that by saying, I really like your hair.
That's a profound insight. Yes, you capture her. She's like, oh, well, thank you, and she's like starts fidgeting with it a bit. I like yours too. There's like a very organic feeling about you. You know, like you're very real.
Thanks. I usually hate my hair. I could never have a haircut like yours. It's so thick and curly. It just won't do anything I want to do with it.
So I think at this point, Aaron just goes and sighs.
Yeah, maybe
Hair
schoolwork.
talk is coming on.
What's wrong
Maybe
with
schoolwork wasn't so bad after all.
Yeah.
she leans in like closer to you, and she's like closer to you, Starlight. What? Not Starlight. White Sparrow. She's like, hey, think the big man is bored.
Oh.
Should we share some hair tips? I can give you some. Hey, Aaron, get over here.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And she
Go
like
on.
Yeah. So
turn and look at her, and she's holding a curling iron and looking predatory.
Oh, fuck.
I hold up
Let
my
me-
hand. I'm like, yeah,
Uh-oh.
you're not touching the dreads.
Let me light my scented candles.
Fuckity fuck.
Uh-oh, Aaron.
Come on.
This is now if you want to run, you know?
Yep, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So she wants you to help corner Aaron so you can like just open up on him.
Go for
Yeah.
it. You know, set your feelings. You know
Yeah.
you want to.
He glances back at the door and then just turns and bolts.
I would like to intercept him.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
And Nelly appears in the doorway.
Sorry?
And Nelly appears in the doorway as you attempt to make your escape.
Come on, it'll be fun.
He's like backing up, both hands in front of him. He's like, no, you know how long it took me to get the dreads?
Don't be afraid, little lamb. We're not gonna hurt you.
Oh, God. Run! Get
Run!
So,
Yeah.
jumping out the window then if the door is blocked.
Holy shit, I imagine she has a room on the first floor.
Okay.
I got this. Whee! No, so like when you like please, like no, don't touch the dreads, man. There's this moment where they she gets you up against the corner, right? She's like, nah, I got you, and then she backs down because she's only just met you. She's just testing limits.
Yeah, he lets out an audible sigh and it's like subconsciously like touches his hair.
You know, I think I have some tickets for, a movie. Some, what do you call them? Where you can get a gift card.
Cool. What do you watch? What should we go and watch? I don't know what they show here.
I don't actually know either. We should go look. I go to find gift card and then we go to see what's up with the moves.
I mean, do you have the internet?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, I think she says, I'll go find the gift card. Aaron, my laptop's over there.
Yeah, I go grab the laptop and kind of go online and see what's playing.
So as you leave, Sparrow and Aaron and Monica are alone, and you grab the laptop and start looking for what's up. We have there's like a panel of you, like you're getting the laptop out and so on, and then there's a side view of you, like as she basically like does the arms over your shoulder, chest against your back, lean in to like look over your shoulder, and like look at like what's up, and she like we know by the way it's drawn that like she's being flirtatious, but she's not not stepping on any board, like she's not crossing any borders. But yeah, she just like she gets close to you as she looks over your shoulder and like starts like pointing and being like, yeah, put that on, yeah, playlist that and that.
Not getting over any borders, except for the fact that we are dealing with a 17-year-old man who's now got a bag full of boobs.
That too.
I just want to point out the simple facts, you know?
Yeah, I'm deliberately playing up her acting alluring because that's definitely a thing I want to shoot for. So yeah, she points out some music. What does Aaron want to queue up? Like what's your brand?
Oh, does he want
he's
to do anything about her?
No, I think he actually doesn't mind it. But yeah, he's looking up like I guess looking through like the action movies, sci-fi type stuff. Even though he like lives that day to day, he still likes it.
It's nice to see other people being in deep shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have not made any decisions on what she likes, specifically because I wanted to know what you like. And she's totally like in your ballpark, right? Whenever you point to something, she's like, "Yeah, that," and she suggests something that you're all about too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I can see what Daniel is doing. Boo you, Danny.
Yeah. You.
Boo you, Danny.
I'm being very obvious, but I'm doing so like. If you read this in a comic, the intention of the author would be like very deliberately clear too.
Of course.
Yeah. Boo you.
Why
And
don't you
also
try
not
some
boo
Barry
you.
White, Aaron? It seems like it would be fitting for the mood.
What?
What?
I love Barry White. I love my black musicians. Coltrane.
Sparrow has a bit of an annoyed expression on her face as she leans against the door frame.
Yeah, she extracts herself from Aaron and like comes to you and basically like just starts like chit chatting with you as if nothing was wrong. She seems oblivious to having crossed any boundaries.
She's just a handsy type of person.
You cannot help but wonder. Maybe you're being jealous. Is she doing?
Is that a thing?
Maybe that's who knows.
Someone is stirring the hornet's nest.
Who really knows?
Somebody who's getting possessive.
Yeah. So I think as I want to know, like just for formality's sake, like what do you decide to go watch, and what music is blaring in the background as you find out?
I'm thinking perhaps something comedic. That seems like a good start point when meeting new people.
So
You're
going to showings of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Something action-packed and comedic, set in a sci-fi or action hero premise.
Yes.
Yes.
So.
And maybe it's not Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's Defenders of the Universe.
Yes. Well, actually, no, that's Masters of the Universe. Never mind, that might be a good movie. Okay. And just because you're DJ, what's playing? What's the tones that we have seen, like that's being written deliberately on the page as we pull out out through the window, and like is that like just a shot where we leave this scene?
Me or the one choosing the music?
I guess like that depends, right? Like which of you makes the call on what's playing and what is playing?
I think Aaron's already assumed that position.
He is putting on, like, I guess, aggressive alternative rock.
Nice.
Ooh. That's why Starlight started hanging out with him in the beginning.
That's so good. So you put that on and...
Rammstein.
Yeah, I think... so when that happens and as we like pull it out, we see like Monica is like she's grabbing you by the hands, Nelly, and like pulling you onto your own bed and like starts jumping and like, yeah, shake your bony white ass, come on.
Oh God.
Sure.
Crap.
I think those of us in the mall got the better end of this deal.
Yeah.
Indeed. We at least got a hug out of it.
She just basically like she wants to get in a partying mood, right?
I join her until such a point as the bed makes a "I'm about to break" sound, and then I suggest we don't break it because I need to sleep in it.
Cool.
You're so boring.
I think I laugh at Nelly because it's probably the first time I've seen her dance.
Probably, actually.
Is Nelly a good dancer, or are you like an awkward dancer?
I would say she would be an awkward dancer, but she can always cheat.
Yeah. Do you dance awkwardly, or do you cheat in the name of impressing your peers?
You know what? If Aaron laughs at her and it seems good-natured, she'll just keep up the awkward because maybe he finds it charming.
Yeah, it is good-natured.
So
then, yeah.
As the last note before leaving this, I want to throw this out to you, and you can make the decision on yourself. It is very likely that you get engrossed in Monica's attitude, and like find yourself encouraged and like in the moment. So
yeah.
If that is not the case, and you're like, no, I'm hostile to this woman now, you feel free to be that. But I'm deliberately throwing this at you, like there is this.
Oh, I'm definitely inviting Aaron to come dance with us on the bed.
Cool.
By grabbing him and pulling him up.
It's like, I'm not doing this alone. Come here.
Awesome. Cool. So now we leave that scene and let's have a break. Before we return to see what happens during the gala. All right.
Oh yeah, that. We have yet to be informed of that.
Yes, that's true.
Yep. So we'll be right back with more masks. So don't go anywhere.